Hey guys, I'm DaddyRaz. Today's video, we're going to do a small tour of a server that I've joined with some friends. Preface it a little bit, there are no huge, ridiculous redstone builds or mega structures, but there are some really cool builds in here. A lot of different kinds of builds because there are quite a few different people on the server. And I just thought it'd be really cool to show some of them off. So we're just going to walk through real quick. So come with me and let's go check it out. We're going to run through the builds. This is the entrance to my humble abode. Before we head down there, we're going to go see what I've actually put most of my effort into, which is my big build over here. All right, so here's my main castle. Now, for preface, before I started building this, I really hadn't played Minecraft in years and hadn't played a whole lot of Minecraft before that. This is a survival server, so everything here had to be mined, gathered, and I died a lot. But this was my major build. I built this nice little castle wall. It's got a couple entrances. I got a walk-in entrance over there. The other side is a water entrance. Most of our builds are along the coastline here, and we have riverways that are heading inland. So almost all the bases have like water access for rafts and stuff. All right, let's head down here. So here's like the little main hallway. And again, there's side door to my base. But if we head down the hall, we'll take a little peek in here. This is the inside. I've been trying to flesh this out a little bit. Kind of got some little ramparts up here. I don't know if that's what you call them. Walkways up into those towers. On the other side, run. On the other side, I've done a little bit more. So I made a little garden. Got some sunflowers in there because those are my wife's favorites. I don't actually know if they're sunflowers, but they look like sunflowers. A little pond with my fish. And what are you doing in my pond, zombie? But little garden. I want to eventually turn this into like a horse staple, maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, and this is our just tiny little water entrance. Nothing special. Again, let you guys know, heads up, none of the builds in here are crazy, intricate, amazing, other than the amount of time that I put into this one. So, again, nice and symmetric. So these are my towers. I build these on pretty much every world that I create because Soul Reaver, older game, is one of my favorite games. So I built the pillars, and on the front of each pillar is a banner for each member that's on this server, with, of course, a corresponding stone behind them. That's mine in the center. If you'd notice, I have those banners up on the front of my towers. I think I also have them in the base. This is Dark Vitality. He runs the server.
Hi there.
Those are his with the diamond blocks. This is Rival Sloth. That's Vitality's girlfriend. And then, of course, these other ones are to represent other members. All right, let's head inside. We'll look at my base. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Started out as a hole in the ground. So don't get your hopes up. But it does include lava chicken. All right, so you can see some of my base here. This is just a walkway around. We're gonna head around to where the main entrance is. So that was that little entrance we saw above ground. Just looks like a little tiny tomb. Eventually, I want to make this into a 4x4 redstone door. So this just looks like a closed tomb, and then you open it up. I've got hallways branching off that just wrap back around that front side. Down here is my main area. Again, built for functionality and aesthetic. It's not fleshed out. I don't have a nook and cranny with bookshelves and Oh, look, it's a nice little office area. No, it just looks clean. I like it. And that's my bed tucked in a corner. That's my mine that goes down to my deep slate strip mines. That'd be where I worked for all the deep slate, all the diamonds, all the stuff you see here that I've been using. Head around here. So this little side area. There's my chickens. They are. So chickens up there, they lay the eggs. Eggs go down there, they get shot out. More chickens, they grow, they get crushed, they fall down. And then we have sweet lava chicken, yes. But again, when I was starting out, it was very useful for survival. So, okay. Only other things I have in here, I have a little hidden area down here where I keep all my goodies. This is all my storage. Tried to label them the best I could. You can hear my chicken farms right here. We open this up. See, this is where our chicken pops out. Oh, and this is my world map. You can see the giant yellow dome. It's my build. And then over there is the main village. We're going to head over there next. We're going to check everything out. Real quick, before we head over there, though, let's head down here. This is where I've been expanding the pillars. So this is the room underneath the pillars. Very nice, very nice. Eventually, I'd like to get beacons in each one of these that are the different colors for each member on the server. I think that'd be pretty cool. So, all right, so let's head over to some of the other guys' builds, to Vitality's build, and we'll check some of those out. All right, and here is Vitality and Vitality's build. This is his main home. We're gonna walk through here. He's gonna show me some of it, show me some of the ideas behind his build. Unfortunately, we lost the audio that he recorded, so I'm gonna kind of just go over it as we go through it with him. Now this over here is currently his chicken coop. Everybody on the server uses it to gather eggs and then spam eggs all over everybody else's houses. But this was originally his very first build. This is the very first thing that he built on the server. Was just a tiny little shack. And he eventually turned into the chicken farm, built this house that we see here to the right. So let's head inside, we'll take a look. You can see he puts a lot more effort into the details for his builds. I'm not so great with that. Trying to work on it. Trying to improve. And you see he's got the banners on his home as well. His girlfriend, actually, Rival Salt, she makes all of our banners. So she took the time to create and make all of them for us, make a unique one that fit each one of us. So it's pretty cool. And you can see it matches his colors on his shield and his character there. So this is his kitchen, which he has actually upgraded. You can see he's in the process of remodeling again. He's upgraded since the last time we were in here. Looking very cool. You got all his little buddies in here. Buddies. Doing. All right. Let's keep heading upstairs. All right. Now, here he was telling me this is the first kind of open floor plan build that he's ever done. He really wanted to do an open floor plan. And it is a little harder sometimes. It's harder to fill in the space to make it feel as lived in. You have the big open spaces, but I think he did an excellent job between the staircase, his chandelier up here, and then like the stonework with the chains. This is his master bed. triple wide, of course. If we go up above, we have his library. Again, remember, survival. That's a whole lot of paper, Bubba. Whole lot of paper. All of which he mined, which, again, they're bamboo boys. The reason that they came up with the bamboo is originally this server, they started in like this rainforest area that they found. So they had a lot of bamboo to work with. And of course, then they grew a bunch of sugar cane. So they had sugar and they had paper. So, like I said, very, very cool library. I would really like to add a library to my house. I really need to flesh out the inside of my house. I have that nice, awesome pillars and the inside of my house is really just a fancy hole in the ground. So I think I need to step it up just a little bit. Here I'm just talking to Vitality about how little I knew when I started, when he would let me use his anvils. Back before I realized, they break after a while and you have to replace them. So he kind of got me back into Minecraft, helped me out a lot when I joined the server, was teaching me, more of the mechanics because I hadn't played in years and I had been updated so much since then. There was a lot that I didn't know, didn't understand. So he's helped me a lot. And it's been fun. So, and then you see up top, he's got his beautiful little art gallery. Pretty cool. Let's head up here. Got a little viewport. There's his art. It's a nice little area. You need like some sitting chairs or something so you could sit and enjoy the rain. All right, well, that is Vitality's house. Oh yeah, and we almost overlooked his storage down here, which is one of my favorite parts. It's like tucked up underneath the bedroom area, and it's just so nice and clean. And of course, his ender chest up there in the middle. I think it's turned out pretty epic. I like that. That is Vitality's house. He might be humble about it, but I think that the build is pretty epic. Again, not a huge redstone contraption or thousands and thousands of vaults, but very nice, well done house. All right, so moving on, we're going to just run through some of the smaller builds here. This is Vitality's automatic pumpkin farm. He would run this. We're going to pop up top. We're gonna look in here. See pumpkins growing there. Oh, pops down, breaks all the pumpkins. They get gathered down at a chest down below. And then he would use a mix of those and the sugar to make pumpkin pies. And that was the food that they ran off of for most of the beginning of their time on here. So a redstone contraption that's pretty epic, I think. Over here we have Rival's apiary, where she keeps all her bumbly bees. She's got some of her flowers in there, used for wax and honey and all necessary bee stuff. This is a man-made lake that her and Vitality created, just because they wanted a water feature here. She has a nice flower garden, which I fall into approximately every 20 minutes. Every time I come over here, I manage to get myself in the pond. This is Rival's little flower garden here in the middle. We'll go up top, we'll get a better view of it. So here we go. Trying to get a viewpoint where I could see all the little flowers. Back in the pond. All right, and this is a little water feature that Rival had added to house her axolotls. And it actually worked out really nicely. She added this little axolotl farm, and they weren't sure about it. And it's actually come together really nicely how it's tucked in this corner. And they added that giant tree up top, so it's kind of in underneath the root bed of that tree. I think it turned out very cool. I love that part. So let's look up top. This is the back side of that tree, just up on top of the hill. So that tree was purposely built by them and placed, as well as the rest of these trees, all the cherry blossom trees you see on the other side, all these pine trees, everything. they placed all these purposely. They built a nice little pathway past that tree up here to rival Sloth's first house. It goes from Vitality's house over there over to her first little house that she built. So let's go check that out. Then we welcome you to Rival's house. A cute little wizard's tower. I love the tile on the outside, this wood walkway and entrance. Very awesome. She was a little shy about her build. She's like, oh, this was my first build. I don't feel like it was that good. My first build with tutorials was still a dirt hut. So I think she did a pretty good job. You can see she's got little separated barrels for storage back there, little living room. Up here she's got a little kitchen, very nice. The second entrance on the side, some bookshelves, lots of animals. Now here, so Vitality specifically told me not to look at the unfinished area over here to the right. So that's exactly where I'm going to look. That's where I'm going to look the hardest. Yeah. All right, moving on. Upstairs, we have her bedroom. Yeah, bedroom with some storage and some more pets and her little fish tank. All right, and then up top, we have a little library and her exit to fly over when she's missing Vitality, she could just fly over to his house. And it's actually really cool from the outside. This top of this, you actually can't see it from the outside unless you're right on top of it. It looks like a little wizard's hat. Pretty cool. The next stop on our tour is Avery and No Glass's base. Their base inside is pretty basic. It's the 2 pillars and they have a room in the middle. But the big builds they have are here on the outside. They have a nice little glass floor over there where they can see through to the water. And then over here on the right, they've got what are seaweed and experience farms. So they would grow seaweed up in the top section. The seaweed would get knocked down, broken, obviously, and then cooked in the ovens below. And that would give us both experience and seaweed to make seaweed blocks for fuel, which is pretty awesome. So if we hop up here up top, hop up here real quick. You can see the seaweed would grow up. Once it got tall enough, the observers would see it. They'd break it. It would go down the water and down into the chest there, get pushed by the hopper down into an oven, get cooked. And then we have seaweed, cooked seaweed, which we can make seaweed blocks with. This is their cow farm, which we cull regularly. All right, we're taking a fly over to the main little town where everybody else's build is. It's in a small valley on the other side of Sloth's Wizard Tower we saw. So this here was one of the actual very first original builds. It was all this was all walled out with bamboo. And the person who played on the server, unfortunately, stopped getting on. And they decided they're going to update this, remove the build, and kind of turn this into a nicer walkway and bridge down to the town. So you can see that's currently under construction. And this is the main bridge down to the village. The first building we're going to look at down here in the village is this home and also kind of the hub for our waterway where all the water leads inward. On the other side, the coast, it's ocean for a good ways. So this is kind of the inlet into the landmass that we occupy. The person who built this, I don't remember that member's name. I'm actually one of the newest members, but that was actually one of his first builds. So I think that was actually really impressive. This is another member that randomly hops on. He'll hop on, build something he thinks looks cool, and then hop right back off. It's just kind of a cool little building. Not sure exactly what this building was supposed to be, but it's a cool little building. And then right next door, he has another little build, which is kind of a modern home. It's actually one of my favorite builds because I love the clean, monotone block designs. This is obviously the bedroom. Again, very clean, simple. I really like this. I like this layout. It's awesome. Moving on. Up next is the bamboo house. This is one of the original houses that were built here in this area once they settled. We're actually about 5,000 blocks away from origin, but they found this area. This is what they wanted to settle in, and bamboo was abundant, so they built a bamboo house, of course. Now over here is a small villager farm. We use that to obviously buy and sell different things. I think everybody at this point, other than me, has their own villager farm. I haven't quite figured out that aspect, so the guys are nice enough to let me use theirs when I need to. And it's well built. I mean, it's set up. They've got pretty much every villager in there. Over here, you see their sugarcane farm they made. This is where they originally gathered their paper and sugar. And down here, we have just a small underground base. Again, nothing fancy or super intricate, but this was one of the builds by another member. They built an underground base. And then if we go down through here, this is why they actually located their base here, is there's actually this awesome underground area, kind of chasm. And we have the idea to build like a, chasm, cliffside kind of little village down here with a theme. I think that'll be pretty cool. So we want to work on that. Right, well, let's head back up. We're going to take a look back over here at the dock and kind of the hub of our little village. Again, this is one of the player's actual bases. You see it's got a little farm down there. And here's our docks where we dip in and out, store things as we go, adventuring and foraging into the main continent. Up here is the second floor. This is where he keeps all his storage. Again, nice little storage setup. He's got all his pets in here, all decorated. He just keeps his backup armor, all his storage and crafting and stuff here on the second floor. Out the other side, it's identical to this side. So let's go up and we'll check out his top floor. Head on up. Here, we present to you our Supreme Leader. All adjudication, all choices as far as litigation, infrastructure, everything goes through him. And of course, we'll give him a little bow. Nice to see you, sir. Let's see around the other side. This is just the main little sleeping area for this player. He's got his bed, his other pets up here that he confers with. And then, of course, if we look up, got a nice skylight. There's like a nice skylight while they lay and daydream, contemplate. So, all right. Well, let's keep the tour moving. We only have a couple more stops. Next, we're going to check out Rival Sloth's Wizard Tower, which I think is an awesome build. Now, as you guys know, I'm re-recording this audio because I messed up the audio in the original. And right here, I was trying to get a nice shot of her wizard tower, and I did not see. So that happened. Now, to be fair, I did have my HUD hidden, so I didn't realize I had almost no health left. And I did manage to get all my stuff back. So let's continue back to the tour. All right, there is our end portal located over here at the edge of Vitality's house and yard, in between here and Sloth's second wizard tower. Now, she was a little shy about this build because, again, she feels like it's unfinished, but I like it. I'm biased towards builds that don't have the color palettes and all the stonework that are, monotone blocks. I think it looks great. Look at that. Look at that. It's nice. But anyways, let's go up here. We'll get inside and check it out. See what's going on. All right, first floor, we got storage. Very nicely done, very clean. All her little pets and buddies. Some books back there. Second floor, we've got more storage. Ender Dragon heads, some decorations. It's very clean. I like it. Third floor, just got a little window out there and a bed. And this, I love this here, how she did the woodwork with the pink stones. This is their landing pad. Since we're at the point where we all kind of have elytras, this is the landing pad that we'd use to land. And now, of course, once they had the ghast update, she had to get a bunch of ghasts. So And I believe she has plans to improve this and make this a much more involved landing pad from the last time I talked to them. So that over there is another building, the pink one's one that she's worked on. This is a pet shop that she's working on to sell the different pets. We do have a working economy on the server. Each of us creates and sells different items to each other. We trade. And down here is the kennel area for all the animals. Have they mistreated you, my friend? It's okay. You can tell me the truth, but... For those who care, the animals said that they are very well taken care of. Okay. So up here, obviously, she's still finishing her shop. The upstairs area here will be a little shop where you'll pick out different color collars and the little costumes that you can put on them. And obviously, there's a glass little display down there where she'll have a couple of the animals. And this is still a work in progress. This is one of the buildings that she's currently working on. Let's head out. We'll look at some of the other builds she's done. So right across the pathway here is Rival's banner shop. So up here on the walls are all different banners that she's created. She loves creating these. It's one of her favorite things to do. And like I said, she'll set them up here, and then every member that's on our server gets to pick out a banner that, you know, represents them, that they really love. And they can put in requests, and she can try to make something for them. Like I did, I put in a request for the colors and kind of style I wanted, and it was perfect. It was awesome. You see a couple more over here. It's a very cool designs. So, and again, in the chest, there are different banners and stuff that are for sale. We head back out right next door to this little building. We have a garden there on the left, and up here on the right is the potion shop. It looks like a little wish's hat, which I think is awesome and adorable. And she built that all herself. These are buildings that she designed, that she came up with. Again, very well thought out, well laid out. It's a little potion room, all the different potions, and they're up for display on the wall, ingredients and stuff. So just a very cool touch. And that, guys, is going to wrap up our tour. Thanks for hanging out and taking a look at our server. This is Rival Sloth and Dark Vitality's server. It's their home, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. If you enjoyed the tour, you saw some builds that got you excited, drop a like, subscribe, leave some comments of what your favorite spot was, and also leave us comments on videos and games you might like to see. I have more shorts coming, of course, more demo and game reviews. If there's a game that you would like to see me review, leave a comment. And I have hopefully soon a new video of the kids server. Since their first video, they've been working on improving their builds. So we're going to try to keep that ongoing series as they build more stuff and more intricate things. We'll post new videos. All right, so again, thank you guys for stopping by. We'll see you later.